Well, we've probably all had those moments where it's just hard to get out of bed. Your body's tired, your mind is kind of foggy, your legs don't really want to move. Maybe some people feel that way every morning. But imagine if you actually could not get out of bed at all. Imagine if your whole life was confined to your bed, or at most, how far you could safely crawl on the ground. No sports, no walking, no occupation, no way to provide for yourself, and certainly not for anyone else. And the only way that you can get by is if every day you beg for someone to help you, for someone to give you some money for food. And if that story sounds familiar at all to you, that's because it's the story of the lame beggar from Acts chapter 3. Every day, this man would position himself by the temple gate and beg for some charitable gift from those who passed by. And one day came along the apostles, Peter and John. And this time, instead of someone looking at him with disgust or scorn, or at best flipping him a coin, this time Peter looks upon him with compassion and says, "I do not have silver and gold, but what I do have I give to you. In the name of Jesus Christ the Nazarene, walk." And then, grasping the hand of Peter, he stands up and then begins leaping around the temple, praising God who had healed him, to everyone around him. And it says, everyone who saw was filled with wonder and amazement at what had happened to him. Whether we realize it or not, we are all like the lame beggar. Physically, we may be doing just fine. Materially, we may be pretty well off. But in the ultimate spiritual reality, we are as weak and helpless as the beggar by the temple gate. But in our weak and helpless state, Jesus looked upon us with compassion, and he reached out his hand to pull us up and to give us the strength to stand. And as we have heard those words, "In the name of Jesus, walk," how have you responded? Has it lost its meaning to you? After several years or maybe even several decades of following Christ, have you just sort of gotten used to it and grown cold? Or, like this man, has the grace of God filled you with gladness where you're leaping with joy and telling the world about what Jesus has done for you? Because if Jesus really has made us to walk, then we always have a reason to get out of bed and to leap with joy as we live for him.